My name is Sana. I love to talk about crochet and amigurumi and all things crafty. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about 13 Christmas/wintry amigurumi patterns that I have my eye on. These are going to be a combination of free and paid patterns. So let's go ahead and just jump right into it. It's already December. Christmas time is already here. And I probably should have started making Christmas amis, I don't know, a little while ago, but never too late to start, right? Now, the first free pattern that I want to talk about today is the Christmas tree pillow. This is a free pattern by Wonder Crochet, and we all love a Wonder Crochet pattern around here. I mean, they're just so amazing. And this Christmas tree pillow is no exception. One of my family's favorite things about Christmas is the Christmas tree. It is a big part of the holiday season around here for us, and so I had to include this one. Now, looking through this pattern, I would say this one is definitely an advanced beginner, maybe even more than that. There is a lot of skipped stitches and things, and I feel like that's maybe to give it the shape of having all of the branches and things. So if you are brand new to crocheting or amigurumi making, this one might be a little confusing at first, but I would say give it a go if you really want to, and that's the best way to actually, I feel, get better, is to try things that make you uncomfortable, right? Just so sweet and perfect for this holiday season. The next free pattern that I want to talk about is this crocheted walrus. I tried to have a nice mix of Christmas but also wintry patterns, and when I think of winter, I just think of like Arctic animals, I don't know, and you see a ton of polar bear amigurumi, but I thought this walrus was super cute. So this was actually a part of a crochet along in 2023. The free Arctic Animals crochet along was a cal that was hosted by Crochet Wizard and 3 other different designers. Now, I found this walrus on the blog The Crochet Chums, and one thing I thought was really cool is on their blog, there's actually the option to download all of the parts in US terms or UK terms. Now, looking through this pattern, it doesn't look terribly difficult. It looks fairly straightforward and simple. I'm fairly new to patterns from this designer, so I might check this one out and give it a go and see what I think. But yeah, there it is, Walter the Walrus. So the next pattern, oh my gosh, I love this one. This is Noelle the Christmas Mouse by Little Aqua Girl. Little Aqua Girl makes some of my favorite crochet patterns. They are so darling, and Noelle here is no exception. Oh my gosh, I love the look of this cute little Christmas mouse. Now, this one does look like it's an ornament, so I feel like it's going to be a little bit smaller and a little bit quicker. And I love that it being a free pattern, you still get the PDF download. Oh, I think that is so nice. This also does say it is a beginner pattern, so if you're new to crochet, definitely try this one out. Let me know if it really is a beginner. Overall, I think Noelle is super cute. I will definitely be making this mouse this holiday season because I love Little Aqua Girls patterns. You throw in Christmas and a mouse, and I'm on board. The next pattern is by Spin a Yarn Crochet, and oh my gosh, this one's really funny. This is the gingerbread boy pattern. I had to throw a gingerbread in there. I love gingerbread houses. I collect gingerbread house and cookies and girls and boys. I love gingerbread stuff. So I had to throw this one in there. And as you can see, he's got a bite taken out of him. And I think that is really funny. The colors are really bright and vibrant in this one. And I really like that this one is actually crocheted as 2 different panels and then you sew them together. So I feel like if you are brand new to crochet or amigurumi making, that might be a little bit confusing depending on where you're coming from. It really just kind of depends, but just know it is not worked in continuous rounds. This one is worked in rows that you then squish together. It really gives it more of like a cookie shape, which I think is nice because, you know, the cookies, they're flat, right? I love the size of this one too. Most gingerbread men that I make, they're kind of small, and yes, I love a good medium-sized amigurumi, but the fact that this one's a little bit bigger, super fun. This is the perfect amigurumi to make sitting by the Christmas tree while you have some gingerbread cookies cooking in the oven. And oh my gosh, just so festive. I love it so much, and I had to include this one. So the next pattern is from Amigurumi Today, and I I don't know how I feel about this website. I feel like there's some really cute patterns here, but for a lot of them, you need to sign up with an account to view the pattern. If I did that, I don't know if it was just like my web browser or like my ad blocker that I use. It was really hard for me to read the patterns. I mean, it wasn't unreadable. It just wasn't laid out very nicely. But I did want to include this one because I thought the snowman was really cute. I loved his little earmuffs. And I think the colors are extraordinary. I love these more vibrant kind of neon colors for him. I think it's super cute and it puts you in that wintry mood. Maybe it's, you know, a snowstorm outside and you have nothing to do. And so you sit around with a hot beverage or whatever, and you crochet up this snowman. I think it would be a really fun project. And I did want to include it, but just letting you know, I did have a little bit of trouble accessing the pattern. And when I did, it was not ideal. So keep that in mind. But overall, this little snowman, he's really cute and it's a free pattern. So that's awesome. Now, the last project on the list I had to include, oh my gosh, this is Graham the Bison. This is a pattern by Sarah D. Crochet, and I don't believe I'm familiar with this designer, so I'm really excited to try this one out. I had to include a bison in this list. One, when I think of kind of wintry, cold, snowy animals, I just picture a snowy bison. And when it comes to favorite animals, my favorite animal, it's a bison. I love to look at bison from far away. Don't pet the fluffy cows. Not a good idea. Stay away from them. And this one is Graham the Bison, and Graham is on his little sled, which is super sweet. But one thing that I thought was really interesting about this pattern, and I might omit this if I decide to make him myself, is Graham the Bison actually does have marshmallows atop of his head. So I'm guessing it's like a s'more type of thing, right? So you have Graham the Bison in his little sled, and then he's got the marshmallows covered with chocolate on his head. Cute, like it. But then I was getting like the Menu vibes. If you've seen that movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I was like, okay, maybe not. So if I were to make up Graham, I probably am going to omit the marshmallows. But if you want to keep them on there because you think it's cute, hey, I think it's kind of cute too. So now this pattern does say it is an advanced beginner pattern, and they do recommend you have some crochet or amigurumi experience before you try tackling this one. There he is, Graham the Bison, the last of our free patterns. So now that we've talked about some free patterns, let's go ahead and dive into some of the paid patterns that I have been really interested in lately. The very first paid pattern that I had to include is another kind of selfish one that I had to add to the list, and that is Clara and the Nutcracker. Now, I love collecting nutcrackers. That is one thing that is very special to me. The Nutcracker in general is very, very special to me, and so I had to include little Clara here. This is a pattern by Miss Daisy Handmade, and I love the look of this one. It does give more of like a cute kind of sweet little toy. I've seen a lot of Clara's and Nutcracker amigurumi and just toys and things, and they're all a little bit more, I don't know how to put it, like fancy, I guess. This one just really spoke to me because it is more childlike, and that is the kind of Nutcracker stuff that I like to collect, stuff that is a little bit more whimsical, a little bit more childlike. Now, there's actually not a lot of pictures or information about this amigurumi on the Etsy listing, so I don't know a bunch about it, but looking at this amigurumi, I would say this one is definitely more of an intermediate pattern. Looking at this one, this is not going to be a simple kind of whip it up pattern. There is a lot of stuff going on with Clara's hair. That hair is going to probably take a bit to crochet up. This pattern has actually been on my wish list for a very long time, And every now and then when I go back to maybe get it, I look at that hair and I'm just like, nope, don't have it in me to do that today. So not picking that one up yet. But hopefully one day I do get to make this one and I can add Clara and her nutcracker to my collection. The next pattern I want to talk about is this darling little snowman. Yes, we have another snowman. You can't get more wintry or Christmassy than a snowman. And this one is really cute. It does have like the Christmas tree details. So I would say this one is more Christmas focused than wintered. This is a pattern by Katushka Morozova, and looking through their patterns, they make some really gorgeous dolls. And the one thing that really struck me about this snowman is the shape of his face. We see so many snowmen with the perfect round head, which is cute. We like it, but this one definitely has a little bit more shaping when it comes to the face. And I think that really gives the snowman a lot of character. And I think it is really, really sweet looking. I don't know, that little face, look at it. It's just so sweet and kind. Now, looking through the description, the pattern designer does state that this pattern is an intermediate to upper intermediate pattern. So I would say definitely maybe pack your patience for this one. But one thing I did think was interesting is that the listing does state that it is crocheted mostly in one piece. Yeah, it says right here, the snowman is crocheted in one piece. Arms are attached in the process of crocheting. So that's kind of cool. I don't think it's going to be a big time saver. I do think this project will take some time, but the fact that you don't have to sew any of that stuff on, I think is great. So definitely go ahead and check this one out if you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge and if you want a really cute snowman pattern, but you want something a little bit different than what we kind of typically see. The next pattern I want to talk about is from one of my favorite amigurumi designers. Oh my gosh, I love Lyra Loon Designs. And this is Nyx the Winter Fae pattern. I mean, just look at this thing. This is incredible. Now, I have done a couple of Lyra Loon design patterns before, and they are a lot. I would say this is definitely an intermediate to advanced pattern. There is a lot that goes on here. There's a lot of shaping, there's a lot of detail, and there is a lot of sewing and assembly. So, whew. It's going to take a while, but it's so worth it when you finish a Lyra Loon Designs pattern. Incredible. Now, I'm not going to count this one as part of the 13 patterns, but if you like the look of this pattern, but you don't have the patience or you don't want to complete something this extreme, Lyra Loon Designs also has Lyra Loon Softies. So you can actually get this character, but in a more plushy, low sew type of pattern. So if you like the idea of a winter fae, but you don't want to spend months making it, maybe check out that one. Again, just look at the details of this amigurumi. The antlers, the leaves, all of it. Even the back of this pattern is incredible. So I can't recommend Lyra Loon Designs patterns enough. They are so wonderful. They are so creative and so intricate, and I love all of them. You can't get through Christmas and the winter spirit without some balls. They're everywhere. And I'm talking about the little plastic or glass round ones that you see in all the craft stores. Now, if you're like me, you probably have a ton of these because you had lots of plans to make ornaments for family or whatever, and you never did, and they just sit around. But boy, do I have a pattern for you so that you can finally use all of those plastic ornaments for something. Now, this is the Amigurumi Deer pattern by Fable Crochet Toys. And when I saw this pattern, I squealed with excitement. Wow, what a really cute and unique amigurumi design. I have not seen anything like this yet, and you can customize this one so easily. Okay, so let's get into the deer portion of this pattern. Super cute. Love the holly on top. I love the sleeping eyes, but the star of this pattern is definitely the ornament that you put inside as the belly. And what's nice too is this might be able to be kind of like a family pattern. I don't know, maybe you have a family member that you want to craft with, but they don't crochet, but you want to make something with them this holiday season. You can crochet up this adorable deer. They can make the ornament however they want. Now, I did include the reindeer, but I just want to let you know that there are a ton of these ball patterns. You don't have to just have a reindeer. They have bears, there's penguins, there's snowmen, there's Santa, there's a dragon. I love the innovation. I love the creativity, and I love the fact that I can take this project and add my my own creativity and my own spin to it. Had to include this one. If you do try something out like this, please let me know how it turns out. I would love to hear what you guys make. Next up, we have some Christmas snails, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with snails lately. They are so cute. This pattern is from Puffy Bunny UA, and they are the Christmas snails. And included in this one, you get the reindeer with the tree. There's a Santa Claus one that has a little beard. How cute is that? And then of course, the little snowman, and I love that his hat's like off to the side. This pattern is listed as intermediate, so you want to have a little bit of crochet skill before you go into these ones, but I think these are really cute, really sweet, and a little bit different. I feel like snails are pretty popular when it comes to amigurumi, but I thought that the Christmas variety was really fun. It still screams Christmas, but still screams unique, and I think that's really cool. Next up, I had to also include a Yeti. When I think of winter or Christmas, I just think of an abominable snowman. And so there are a ton of Yeti patterns. I actually included one in my last video all about low-sew and no-sew patterns, but I saw this pattern by Medvetic Toy Design, and wow, this Yeti is incredible. Just look at the size of that Yeti. I love his little sweet face, and he has a belly button. I think it is so cute. I want to squeeze and cuddle and hug this little Yeti. It is so cute. It is so sweet. This Yeti ticks all the boxes. Size, cute, belly button. Just what else do you need in a Yeti pattern? Super sweet. So yeah, had to include a Yeti. Very wintry, very snowy. So there that one is. Now the last pattern I wanted to talk about, I actually didn't intend to put in this video. I saw this on Instagram and I immediately started looking through my list of patterns that I was going to include in this video, and I had to make the sad decision to cut one of them to put this guy in. And oh my gosh, this pattern is called The Mean One by Jennifer Lewis, and it is a Grinch pattern. But it's not just any Grinch pattern. Look at the sass of this Grinch. He is incredible. I love the look of this Grinch. There's a ton of Grinch patterns out there and they all are great, but this one just struck me a little bit different. I think it's his really kind of slender arms. I think it's his really sassy expression. And I love the yarn that this designer decided to use for theirs. I think that kind of halo effect is just really cool, especially with a character like the Grinch. Now, this pattern does include the patterns for the Grinch, of course. You also get the pattern for the Santa hat and his coat, and as well as his lederhosen, because you can't have the Grinch without his fabulous lederhosen, right? The pattern also does say that there is minimal sewing for this one. So minimal sewing and sass, sign me up. So definitely check this one out if you are a Grinch fan or you are like me and you just love how different this one is. Really cool, really unique. And what's Christmas time without the Grinch? So there we have it. There are the 13 Christmas/wintry amigurumi patterns that I found that really kind of intrigued me. I love talking about patterns with you guys. So if you have any ideas of what other kind of pattern roundups you would like me to do, please be sure to comment down below. And also let me know what winter patterns you're making. Or maybe you're not making any winter patterns and you're focusing on Valentine's Day or Easter already. I'm really curious to know what you're making and what you're loving right now. I hope you all are having a wonderful December so far, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. But that's all I have to say about that. I love you so much. You are so wonderful. And I will see you all a little later. Bye.